What's up, good people? Welcome to Bernard Raleigh Reviews, where we attack ideas and not people. We attack ideas and not people. And this will be a tough one because some tough ideas that go against conventional wisdom are going to be displayed in this video, or going to be talked about in this video that I'm going to be analyzing and reviewing by Madame War. The idea of stealthing, as they called it, basically condom removal during the act. They make a case that a man removing the condom during the act of sex, that R word that rhymes with cape and starts with an R, yeah, that word. They make the case that removing a condom during sex, a man removing a condom during sex, is a form of that, or should be considered that. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to hear what they got to say, but I have an interesting counter proposal. So let's check it out.
There are so many ways to violate people that some are still being categorized. Stealthing is an example. Don't recognize the term? Sadly, you may have experienced it and not even known. Our topic is super heavy today, guys, but it's one that needs to be discussed. Listen to Black Woman is starting now. Stealthing is non-consensual condom removal. It is morally wrong and widely considered a form of sexual assault. Some countries, like Germany, have made it illegal. In the United States, bills have been proposed to formally criminalize the act. Sadly, because stealthing happens in the confines of a consensual relationship, it isn't often discussed. That's why today's topic is meant to shed light on one of the biggest and criminal betrayals that can happen to a man or a woman. Here's why stealthing is sexual assault. Africa, what are your thoughts on stealthing?
Well, honestly, Shamika, I'm so glad that you made the point and made it clear to our viewers that it happens to both genders. So this isn't something that exclusively happens, to us. And, research has found that it happens in all types of sexual relationships, both hetero and homosexual ones. And it can be hookups, long-term relationships, marriages. So this is something that is quietly happening to a lot of people. And now it's becoming a part of a more mainstream conversation.
Yeah, you mentioned safety and all these other things, but condoms also prevent pregnancy. So if you remove a condom without someone knowing, you can get this person pregnant. I'm interested to see what people on social media had to say. One tweeter wrote, "Stealthing is actually rape, period." Okay, so here is a real interesting conversation, guys. How far do we want to put this on the spectrum of sexual assault?
Well, I think that, I know that people that this has happened to, and I think the whole issue with stealthing is that this isn't a man and a woman, going into a sexual moment and he's saying, well, I don't want to wear a condom, and she's saying okay or no, and he's forcing her. These are two people that are agreeing on a type of a sexual encounter, and one person or the other is taking that choice away. So, if you look at it in those terms, it is a version of assault. And it is a version, I think, of rape. And I know that almost sounds uncomfortable to say, but when you think about people that are maybe quietly suffering with this happening to them and not having the words for it, it's time to start normalizing that conversation and recognizing that it does have, rape can have different forms.
I think that's fair too, because in any sexual encounter, consent can be withdrawn at any time. Consent isn't just, hey, do you want to have sex? Yes, and then that's it.
Yeah.
At any point, someone can say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this, I don't want this.
Right.
So under the definition that would fall into rape, even though for some people they might be like, that's extreme.
Yeah.
But if at any point someone does something without your consent, at that point, that encounter becomes rape.
Okay. They laid out their case, and in general, I accept their premise. I do. I accept their premise. If the agreed upon form of birth control or protection was to use a condom, and a couple in a relationship agrees that that's the form that they're going to use, if one person removes that form of protection, that form of birth control, then yes, he's forcing that person to be engaging in an act of sex that they didn't agree to engage in that particular act of sex. So what I would then counter by saying, if two people are in a relationship and the agreed upon form of birth control is not a condom, but no, it's the standard birth control, the pill, the shot, the whatever, the thing that they stick inside them that blocks it, that the Kimbe Matumbo's the sperm, however it works. If that is the agreed upon form of contraceptive, if that's what they agree on, would they have the same argument and draw the same conclusion if the woman gets off of birth control without telling that man that she's off of birth control? Would they then agree with the same amount of passion that what she did to him was a form of that R word that starts, that word that starts with an R and rhymes with cape? You know, I can't say it because YouTube is funny like that, but you get it. Would they go there? But there's been conversations in this space called the manosphere, where a manosphere content creator said that he was in a relationship with a woman that he loved, and she loved him, and their agreed upon form of birth control, it was to be taken by her. So they went on in, they had sex, and was having sex for a year, 2 years, however long the relationship was, with him understanding that their agreed upon form of birth control was going to be her being on the pill or the shot. I think she stopped taking the pills or she stopped going to get the shot. She didn't tell him. He got her pregnant, not knowing that she wasn't on birth control. When we had conversations with women about that, it was a very consistent answer. It's your fault. You should have protected yourself. You should have wore a condom. But we were in a relationship and we were in love and we agreed that that was going to be our form of birth control. No, all on you. You should have wore a condom. You should have protected yourself. Why is it that in this situation, that when if a potential pregnancy, as they mentioned, they did mention a potential pregnancy is a problem, and she's trying to prevent the pregnancy. She's trying to prevent the pregnancy. Condom was the agreed upon method. He removed the condom without her knowing. They're calling it that R word that rhymes with cape. And I'm agreeing with them. But I wonder, does it get to the level of sexual assault if we're talking about two people who agreed that the birth control pill was their agreed upon way that they were going to do it? Because they made it clear, we're not talking about one night stands. We're talking about relationships. It could even be marriages. It can be people in love. And that was the agreed upon way that they were going to prevent a pregnancy. By her taking away his choice, by violating the agreement, just like a man taking away a woman's choice by removing the condom without her knowing, by her not taking the pills without him knowing, wouldn't she be doing the same thing? So the $1 million question is, would they be willing to call that a similar form of assault? I tend to think not, because like I said before, they covered all the bases. They included men, gay men. So I'm intrigued. That video has been around for a while, so it's not fresh. I doubt that we'll get a response from them, but I am curious to what they would think about that in a world where a lot of discussion is being had in some places that they're at least trying or have succeeded in putting some laws on the book somewhere. I'm not even sure where off the top of my head, but on the book, there's some laws that lying to a woman about your intentions in the rather you're looking for a relationship or just casual sex, lying to her is a form of sexual assault. But if they're defining so many things as sexual assault, I'm just wondering, how far are they willing to go? Are they willing to say that that's a form of sexual assault? And if a man could be prosecuted for removing a condom during sex, how far will they go? Should a woman be prosecuted and charged with that R word if she's telling a man she's on birth control? He's led to believe that they're on birth control, that she's on birth control. They're in a relationship. They're engaging in sex. That's their agreed upon method. Just like a condom is a very visible agreed upon method. Will they keep the same energy? And that's all I got here today. And that's Bernard Riley Reviews. Thank you for coming on in. Make sure you catch the live show Monday through Friday. But like I said last time, sometimes it's 7 days a week at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you catch the live video. Most of the live videos, the live stream show goes right to the Patreon after it airs live on YouTube. So you want to make sure that you become a Patreon. And with that said, I am out of here. Peace.